All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited to have you here and to finally be officially launching Wayfinder Society for Environmental Education. So let's see. Next slide. A few reminders about just our Zoom etiquette. If you can please rename yourself if need be. If you are comfortable having your video on, or if you're able to, that'd be great. And please just have yourself muted when you're not speaking. And we'd also like to notify everybody that we're recording this session to share with everybody who wasn't able to make it today. And lastly, we encourage you all to communicate with us in the chat using the emojis, however it works best for you. All right, so if you could all take a moment to introduce yourselves in the chat. Wayfinder Society, a big part of this program is to build our community. So we'd really like to welcome you to participate and share a little bit about yourself, where you're located, the school that you work at, your grade and subject, and this time share your favorite nature spots, place that gives you joy, that you go to refresh and relax. And while you're doing that, we'll take a moment to introduce ourselves. So my name is Anika Ballent, and I'm the education director here at Algalita. I've been in this position since 2016, running our education programs alongside the helm of the organization, Katie Allen. And I'll let her introduce herself in a moment, but I'd also like to take a brief pause to thank our incredible consultant, Carmen Dukes, who's also on the call today. She has been an integral part of helping us envision this program and get it to where it is today. So we really want to thank her for everything that she's contributed. And so I will let Katie introduce herself, and we'll go from there.
Thanks, Anika. So as Anika said, this is a big day for us. We've been working for a long time, not just on the website and Wayfinder Society, but what you'll see as we go through the program, it's all of the great offerings that we've been, giving to teachers and students over the past decade, but now it's all in one place, all up to date. So you can just imagine how excited we are. So I'm the executive director, Katie Allen at Algalita. I have been with the organization for almost a little over 13 years now. So I pretty much grew up in this organization, starting out as education director, and then in 2016 took over as executive director. And I am totally in love with the mission of the organization, with the partners that we work with, and the staff and our community. And Wayfinder Society for me is one of the most important things that we've ever done, because we really want to solve so many of these environmental issues. And we know that teachers are going to be our greatest allies in our mission to get the word out there. So thank all of you for joining, and a special shout out to Anika. She, as you see this program, it's going to seem like there is a huge company behind it because it's so professional and just comprehensive, but it really, Anika was the one to take the deep dive, doing the focus groups with the teachers and really wrapping her head around how we can make the best program possible. So thank you so much for all your hard work, Anika.
Thank you, Katie. All right, so a little bit more about Algalita. If you're not familiar with us yet, we welcome anybody who's new to our organization. We're really excited that you're here. So Algalita is a nonprofit based in Long Beach, California, founded by Captain Charles Moore back in the mid-90s. And he's really been the inspiration for us to work towards a world where plastic pollution is unthinkable. So it's been a 3-decade journey of us investigating this issue of plastic pollution and using those experiences and the knowledge that we've gained to educate our community, and particularly support educators and students in learning about this issue and contributing meaningfully to the solutions. We also, before we get started and dive into the program, we would really like to take a moment to thank all of our funders and supporters who have really believed in our vision and who have made this work possible. So what is Wayfinder Society for Environmental Education? This program is a free and online program that includes environmental education lessons, actions, activities, and toolkits for interactive classroom learning, plus an entire collection of supporting materials for environmental educators to do this very important but very challenging work. We have been doing environmental education and investigating the issue of plastic pollution, particularly for many years. And we know that it's an extremely difficult issue. And we know that it's so important that this issue is being talked about in schools around the world. We also have learned that environmental educators are often not well supported. It's often not a priority within schools. And so we hope that this program is one that is going to support educators financially by providing resources and by providing a supportive community to continue the work when it becomes really challenging. And so we really hope that this program will make this work more sustainable for all of us. So a little bit about our strategy before we get into the details of Wayfinder Society and show you the website. So first, we think that it's really critical that young people learn about these difficult environmental and social issues, but we also know that it's really important to be sensitive and careful about how they're being presented. And so our direction that we're taking is providing real-world experiences, data, and information supported by research that scientists are doing in the field, that movement leaders are doing to create the resources that we provide. We also know that this issue is a global problem, but we really want to make sure that we're providing tangible ways to take action for students who are involved in this program. And so we're really trying to make sure that the solutions that we're presenting are things that students can implement in their home or in their classroom with their classmates and in their communities. We also really understand through our past and all of the work that we've done on this issue that community is vital to making this work enjoyable and successful. And so we're really incorporating that into Wayfinder Society as well. And lastly, our resources are co-created with our partners in this movement who have done incredible work, and we're really using this program as a space for our partners to present their work to a community of educators and students that they wouldn't necessarily reach. And everybody has important information to contribute to this, to solving this issue. So that's why we think that this is such an important part of Wayfinder Society. So overall, our strategic goal is to provide you with whole classroom support for teaching about plastic pollution and effective environmental education. And our mantra as we do this is to journey together. We want to make sure that we're supportive and providing a welcoming space where we can connect with each other, grow our community, and build our optimism as we continue on creating a world where plastic pollution is unthinkable. So today we are going to be walking you through the website. We just launched it yesterday. It's officially live. And to make things a little bit more fun, we're going to be having a few interactive trivia questions as well as a scavenger hunt. So we have some prizes to share. So I'll let Katie explain that, and we're gonna jump right into our first trivia question.
Awesome. Thank you, Anika. So there are going to be 3 different options, but we have doubles of each. So what we're going to do is there's going to be, as Anika mentioned, some trivia, and then later there's going to be a scavenger hunt. So the way trivia is going to work is I think we have 3 or 4 times where this is going to pop up randomly over the next 40 minutes. And it will be plastic pollution related. And the way that it will work is the first person who types the correct answer in the chat will get to choose one of these 3. And then I'm just going to take your name down, and anybody who wins can stay after. You can let me know what you would like. First of all, it's the $100 gift certificate for BYO Long Beach, which is our partner. They have a website that has not just refillables, but reusables, super cool stuff. A set of Wayfinder Society t-shirt with 5 pins if you want to give them out to your students. They're super cute little wood engraved pins. And then one that I'm really excited about, because it hasn't officially been launched or available to the public yet, is our synthetic sand sample kit, which is brand new. It's a new offering. You'll see it when we look through the website. So yeah, we're super excited. So I know some people are in the car, and I know maybe not everyone's set up to do chat. So I'm just going to give you all like 10 seconds to get yourself set up if you want to participate. And then I will ask the question. And again, first one with the correct answer written in the chat is the winner. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. Anika, if you want to head to the next one. Which type of wave has been known to increase the amount of human debris in the ocean? Is it going to be? Watch the chat. Which type of wave has been known to increase the amount of human debris in the ocean? Nobody knows. Oh, Pam! Pam for the win, a tsunami. All right, fantastic. Which is, it's kind of a tricky question, right? But you think about tsunamis and, unfortunately, it's one of the most, terrible environmental, natural disasters that happen. But if you can imagine all of the ships and cars and everything entering, dramatically increases the amount of human debris in the ocean. And in fact, Algalita back in 2012 did an expedition to try to find some of the tsunami debris from the 2011 Japanese tsunami. So we have some experience with that type of debris and how it looks different than some of the other plastic that's coming out of the rivers that we generally see. So Pam, if you can stay on for a minute after, you will be able to choose which prize you would like.
Okay, thank you. I think you probably know what I want, but I will absolutely stay on. Thank you.
Sure thing.
All right, so let's dive into Wayfinder Society. So we've got a big array of different types of resources within this program that can be categorized into 2 different parts. We have materials for your classroom, which include lessons, toolkits, videos, and a student hub with projects and action items. And we have supportive resources to help you as an educator, which include guides, insights, educator mini grants, community news articles, and virtual events like this one. So without further ado, let's head over to the website, and I will just be sharing my screen so you can all see it. And then after I go through the different components of the website to give you a little bit of an idea of where everything is, we'll be doing a scavenger hunt where everybody will be looking for certain information on the website, and you'll be able to work together in teams to do that. So, okay, so this is the website. It's easily accessible with this URL, algalita.org Wayfinder Society, which you can also find it all over our Algalita website. So it's just sort of a sub portion of our website. So if you're used to going to our Algalita website, you can just find it through that as well. The homepage has sort of an introduction to all the different components of the rest of the site, so I won't be going into that. But you can find up-to-date or new information about upcoming events on the site right here at the top. All right, so we'll go through starting with the lessons. Let me pull up my little cheat sheet here so I remember everything that I want to say. All right, so our lessons are free, downloadable activities for you to use in your classroom. One of the main components of these lessons is that they have editable handouts that you can use with your students. Each one is formatted very similarly. So we'll just go to one so that you can see here. You can click on each lesson and it'll give you a brief overview of what's in it, what grades we think it would be best suited for, and the time that it would take to implement in the class. So we'll go to this one, which is called Synthetic or Natural. This lesson is designed to help you investigate what kind of materials our stuff in the classroom is made out of, and to start talking about the difference between a natural and a synthetic material. So each lesson has an overview at the top of the page in this yellow box, which will give you the main objective, the grades, the duration of the lesson, the format of how to implement it in the classroom, and it will have all the editable handouts right at the top here, which are also linked down later on in the page. So each lesson starts with purpose and context to give you more background information as the educator. Where applicable, we've copied this information into a Google Doc for you to share with your students. Sometimes it's really more just for you as the educator, and when we think that it's useful to share with your students too, we've put it in a shareable format at the top here. Then you'll find the instructions, which include both preparatory actions to take and how we best think this activity can be implemented in the classroom. We know that every classroom is different and that educators want to have or take different parts of the lesson and use it as and sort of fit it into their curriculum and their way of teaching. So we've really kept this very open-ended, and it's really just a suggestion for how to use the resource. You'll also find tips and suggestions and associated standards. We focused on the next generation science standards and the AP environmental science standards. Each lesson also has a track section here where we've provided a space for you to give us some feedback about how many students you've used the resource with in a given school year. And this is really important information for us to provide back to our funders and to really figure out how our programs are being used. So if at all possible, we would really appreciate your feedback there. And you simply just put in your number, for example, 120 students this year, and submit. And on each lesson, you'll also find related resources within Wayfinder Society, so other lessons and toolkits and videos. that we think helps support the information in this specific lesson. Okay, so moving on to the toolkits. These are our physical kits that we will send you in the mail. They have all the materials included that you need to do the activity. And they're based on real world information. We've actually modeled these toolkits off of real research that's being done by scientists who are studying these issues. And we hope that that will give students a more meaningful perspective on these issues. So we have 4 different kits. We have our plastic ocean investigation kit, which if you've known about Algalita for a while, we've rebranded this kit. It used to be called the Debris Science Investigation Kit. We have our synthetic sand lab, which is our new kit that Katie was talking about. It's one of our prizes. Our story of plastic documentary and screening guide. And the Investigate Microfibers lab, which we're currently in our 2nd pilot stage. So we're looking for 10 different educators who are interested in helping us pilot this activity for us this coming school year. So these kits, at the moment, they are, we're only able to send them to schools within the United States. But for example, the plastic ocean investigation kit, we do have a digital version of this that we can share with educators abroad. And our story of plastic documentary and screening guide, this can be used by anyone. This is actually just we don't have a physical kit to send, so anybody can use this. All right, then we have our videos, which are educational content that we have created to give more information about certain topics, but which don't have a lesson associated with them. And for most of these, you'll also find some supplementary material that goes with the video that you can use with your students as well. So giving just more background information or journaling ideas and information about how to process the information, as well as associated or related resources that you can sort of match together with the video. And then finally, we have our guides and insights. So these are resources to help you navigate and use the lessons, the toolkits, and the videos. So we have our standards alignment guides. We're launching with 2 different guides. One is for the next generation science standards, performance expectation around synthetic materials. And the other is about the AP Environmental Science Unit 8, which is all about aquatic and terrestrial pollution. So I'll show you a little bit about these. Here we've outlined how we think you can best put together the various resources that we have on Wayfinder Society to help you address this certain standard in your class. So we've given our explanation of how each of these resources helps you address that standard and how it fits into teaching that specific piece of information. Okay, so moving on to the community support components of Wayfinder Society. We have our community news section. So this is where you'll find articles about educators within our environmental education space. We've already highlighted or spotlighted 4 or 5 different educators who have used our resources or who have worked with us in the past. So we really encourage you to check them out, and we hope that this will be a space for educators to find inspiration on environmental education topics, on inspiration on how to use our resources. And we hope that this is a space that we can really just celebrate our community and the amazing work that we're doing. We also have associated with many of these posts that we have here, the educator spotlights, we have our educator mini grants. So we know that it's really, we know that a very big barrier to teaching effective environmental education is having the financial capability to do this work. Whether you need teaching materials or you need money for a field trip to take your students outside, we have included this mini grant program to help educators incorporate environmental education in their classroom. So you can nominate a teacher who you know, whether it's yourself or a colleague. We're also accepting nominations from students and parents and anybody who wants to nominate an educator who is doing outstanding environmental education. We have frequently asked questions down here, or ones that we're anticipating to be frequently asked, about just the details about nominations, and I'll let you go through that on your own. But or something to point out is that these grants, these mini grants, are unrestricted, so they can be used for anything that you would like to use the money for. But we really hope that educators will be using it to further environmental education in their classroom in some way. And along with the nomination, along with getting a mini grant, educators who are awarded will also be offered a spotlight. So we would like to highlight their work on our community news page. All right, and then our events. So here you'll find upcoming events, both virtual and in person, that we have for the community. So coming up in June, we will be doing a walkthrough of how we envision co-created lessons for our platform. We'd really like to highlight different lessons and curriculum that educators have created on their own and incorporate that into Wayfinder Society. In July, we're going to be talking with Andrea Bell, who is an eco-psychologist, and to really start the conversation on mental health within environmental education. And then in August, we'll be launching our student hub, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a moment. And on this page, you'll also find all of our past events, the recordings of them, so that if you miss one, you can check it out here. We also, okay, so moving on to the student hub, the final component. So we'll be launching this in August, in a couple of months. This is where we'll be hosting a collection of action items and projects for students to do on their own, or as part of a class project. So we really hope that this will be a place where you can get inspiration for coming up with ways to really engage your students in not just learning about the issue, but taking action in meaningful ways. And we hope that this will also be a space for students to find their way in how they want to contribute to these bigger issues. We think that everybody has an important part to play no matter what their interests and talents are. We'll also be sharing different information about solutions, and this will be a space where students and educators alike can learn about all the incredible things that are being done to address environmental issues. And a big part of the Student Hub is going to be that students can create an account to track their hours, to how many hours they've contributed and spent on doing these projects, which we hope will be a way to celebrate and recognize all of the work that our community is doing to make a positive impact. These hours that students accumulate can be used to submit extracurricular work or extra credit. They can use it to add on to their resumes or college applications, or even use it to apply for or submit community service hour requirements that they might have for school. And last but not least, we will also have a mini grant program for students to support their work, whether it's a project or maybe they want to go to a conference about plastic pollution or another environmental issue, and they need a little bit of funding for that. So this mini grant program is going to be there for students as well. And of course, we're also going to be highlighting students who are doing this work and who are getting awarded with the mini grants to give students a bit of inspiration and to show so that they can see what their peers are doing. Okay, well, that was a lot. I'm sorry if I was rambling, but we will go back to the presentation here. Oh, and it's hot trivia.
Yeah, when Anika said earlier that there was a lot and it was comprehensive, you can see now we really did think about not just whole classroom support, it's like whole movement support for any teacher and student that wants to get involved. So this is why we were so excited to finally launch this. But with that, I will remind everyone of, okay, Sarah already answered. Nobody needed instructions. I'm sorry to Mark and the last couple of people who joined, but we had some instructions earlier about trivia. So Sarah, let's see, Pam, we'll let everybody get a chance. When was the first ever single-use water bottle patented? The rules were whoever puts in the first correct answer into the chat can choose one of our 3 prizes. One is a $100 gift certificate to BYO Long Beach, which is a refill and reusable, a store that sells reusables. Another is a set of t-shirt and pins that have Wayfinder Society on them. And then the third is, Anika, remind me of the third. Oh, our synthetic sand kit, my favorite.
The kit, yes.
Our synthetic sand kit. All right, so we've got, okay, everybody is, all right, so we've got one person who thinks it's 1951. We have a lot of 1973s. Answer should have been obvious if you'd seen It's a Wonderful Life, Mark says. Okay. Anyone else want to give it a shot? We'll give it 1 second for those of you who may be on a phone. The year, Mark. All right. Oh. I like Amy's strategy going for what nobody else has guessed yet.
Oh, there we go.
All right, so the answer is 1973. So that would mean Pam won again. Pam, would you like to pass your prize along to the next winner?
Of course.
Oh, okay, fantastic. So that means, Stephanie, you will be the winner. And if you can stay on after, you can let me know which of the 3 prizes you would like to choose. And just a little background on this, we thought this was really interesting. So the first ever patented single-use water bottle, it was patented in 1973 by a man named Nathaniel Waite. So he was born in Pennsylvania, so he was from the United States. And the main challenge he was facing, why he was the first one to do this, was people couldn't really figure out how to stretch plastic so that its molecules would align in 2 dimensions rather than just one. So he was the first one to create this like pre-form mold that the plastics could be basically extruded through. So he was the first person that came up with that. And then yeah, after that, we were able to put in not just water, single-use water bottle, but this also allowed soda companies to put carbonated liquid into plastic containers as well. So super interesting. But congratulations, Stephanie. I'm going to write your name down and then we will get you hooked up with your prize at the end. All right. And then Anika, did you want to walk through this? And I'm not sure because some people are on their phones and if we might want to, if we still want to do teams, you go ahead.
Yeah, I think it would still be fun to do teams. So let's try it. I think it should still work on your phone if you're on your phone. So we have a website scavenger hunt to find the answers to these 8 questions. We will be giving you, let's say, actually 10 minutes instead of 15. And the first team to come back and submit their correct answers will get t-shirts and pins for their students, or if you want to share it with other educators, that works too. Hold on, we had some extra information about this.
Yeah, I think
Did I forget?
Yeah, I remember. So as Anika mentioned earlier, we just launched this website literally yesterday. So if you all see any errors or anything funky, please make a note so you can let us know. Additionally, did you find the note actually? I'm sorry.
I think that was it.
Yeah, we're going to be putting you into breakout rooms with each other. So the goal is once your team has found all of the answers to these questions, the first group back, so you'll have to leave the breakout room, your team will have to leave the breakout room, and then you all will come in and you will paste your answers in the chat. And if at the end of 10 minutes, if no group has, found all 8 answers, whichever group has the most answers will end up winning the prize.
Okay, so I'm going to put these questions, they're in a Google Doc. I'll put the link in the chat. And so I'll give everybody a moment to download the questions, or you could take a screenshot with your phone or something. And you'll work together as a team to collect the information. And then as soon as you're done, you'll leave the breakout room and copy your answers into the chat. And we'll see who gets everything right first. Are there any questions? Okay, I'm going to put this in the chat and start the breakout rooms.
Do you want to put the link to the website also right in the chat so they have it?
I've been meaning to do that. Thank you. Everything's overlapping. Okay.
I promise I'll get you another computer screen.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so wayfindersociety.org is the link, and there are the questions. Let's see, how many people do we have, Katie? Okay, so we'll do 3 breakout rooms. Okay, everybody ready? All right, and if you want to take a moment to introduce yourselves to your team members, that would be good, but if you're too competitive, I understand. Okay. Okay, so one more important information about Wayfinder Society before we close off for today. We have put a lot of thought into how we want to organize our academic year and support educators in all of the different resources that we have to offer. So we've sort of split it up between 3 different parts of the year. So we know that during the summer, a lot of educators are planning their school year, their curriculum. So during the summer, we're really going to be looking at helping you prep for the school year, doing virtual events, collecting reflection and feedback next summer. It's also a good time to order a toolkit so that you can get on the list to get a toolkit for that school year. In the fall and the winter, we're going to be focusing this semester on the resources, the teaching resources. So we'll be focusing on doing our educator spotlights and celebrating the work that educators are doing. We'll be calling out for educators who want to do co-created lessons with us to put on Wayfinder Society. And we'll also be doing a lot of roundtable discussions and guest talks to supplement your just to build the community and to supplement the lessons and toolkits. And then in the springtime, we're going to be focusing on the students. So this will be a good time to engage your students around a project that's part of the student hub. A lot of times educators are mentors for students who are doing extracurricular projects. So this is a good time to maybe help them apply for a mini grant. And then also in the spring, we'll be doing our end of the school year celebration, where we'll be celebrating all of our grantees and just bringing the community together. So we hope that this will really work for you guys. And of course, this is a new program, so we really value any feedback that you all have for us, suggestions, questions. If there's anything confusing, please let us know, because it's probably going to be confusing for somebody else too. So we really want this to be a conversation and something that's, we're going to be growing this program into the future, adding more lessons, toolkits, videos, educator spotlights, events. And so we really hope that it becomes a great place for you to come to get support and resources and ideas. So we'll wrap it up so you all can get on with your evenings. We have a couple of upcoming Zoom events, so please sign up and invite somebody to join you so we can spread the word. And just to finish off, we just want to reiterate that Wayfinder Society isn't just a program, it's a community, and we really hope that you'll be a part of it. So thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.
Good show. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.